Hey there, good morning everybody, and once again welcome back to the channel. In this particular video, I would love to show you a hands-on session on building Uber jar for Apache Iceberg Amazon S3 table buckets, a practical guide. Now, the very first question you will ask, Saumil, what is this Uber jar and why do I need to know about it, right? So let me share a little bit context and then hopefully that will make sense. So when you're running Spark jobs, right, you would have multiple jar files, right? For example, here, as you can see, I have bunch of jars, right? So for example, I have the Iceberg runtime jar, I have the Iceberg S3 tables catalog jar, I'm using the AWS SDK jar, I'm using the Hadoop AWS here. You can see a bunch of them, right? And this as you can see, a lot of time also you might run into class not found errors or no such method found error. How to even fix this, right? The solution to all these problems is Uber fat jar. So instead of something like this, as you can see, bunch of jars, right? And very prone to errors also, right? When you're upgrading it, right? Instead, build an Uber jar. So what is an Uber jar? Here you can see. So you just have one jar. So basically you have all the jars in one Uber jar, right? That's basically what it is. So as you can see, one line, no jar, one jar, zero headaches, right? Hopefully makes sense, right? So this is what we are gonna see in this particular video on how to build these Uber jar, and then I'll give you some real world tips from my from building, of course, data lakes over the years. So let me show you how to build the Uber fat jar, and then basically I'm gonna give you some practical tips. All right, so let's take a look at it. So let me do a tree and show you the directory. So I do have a Docker file, build.shell, Docker compose, and pom.xml. Very simple, just bunch of very simple files. Now let's take a look at the pom.xml file. That's where the magic happens. So here you can see all my jar files. The version that I'm using is over here. So tomorrow, if I'm upgrading it to the newer Spark version, it becomes easier, right? I can commit my changes to GitLab, then the runner will run automatically. It will build the jar, push the jar to S3, and then I can use it in my job. So it's easier, right? The process is easier is all I want to say, right? So that's that. And then here you will see the plugin over here for the Maven Shade plugin for creating the Uber jar. See, if you don't understand this, all you need to do is a very simple language. Whatever jars you want to use, just add the jar in the dependency and put the version over here. As simple as that. This will basically compile everything into one single jar. Okay. Now let's run this. So before that, let me also show you the Docker file. Again, very simple, man. So this is the image that we are going to be using. Maven 3.9 Eclipse. That's an image that I'm using. And then all it does over here is does maven clean package dskips -e. So this will basically build the package, as you can see over here. So what do you say? We run it, and then we have a build.shell file. And here you can see, again, this is written using an LLM quickly, right? So all I need to do is just say /build.shell. This will build my Uber jar. So let's take a look at it, /build.shell. And now here you can see it's building my Uber jar. This is going to take a while, so I'm going to stop the video right here and resume once it's complete. All right, so the build is complete. It took a while because there are like a lot of jars, right? As you can see, these jar files are complete. My now Uber jar is about 1 GB. So basically every single jar that I had, about 8+ jar, it has combined into big fat Uber jar right now. So now you can use these jar files in your Spark Submit. Of course, upload these jars on S3 and then use it in your Spark Submit job. Very, very important note from my practical experience that I can share. The best way, so if you're using jar files in your Spark job, right, and if they are on S3, so what would happen is first it would download the jar and then it will upload the jar to an HDFS location, and then it uses in the job. For few jobs it's fine, but if you're running jobs at a magnitude, for example, in our data lake we are running about 18,000+ Spark jobs, then this could really add up, right? So to the job start time, right? So a better way would be in a bootstrapping, copy these jars on all the nodes and then use local // and the jar path. So that way it's not gonna upload the jar to the HDFS location. It will use from the local directory. That's all I have for the video. I hope you have enjoyed the video. The complete source code would be there on my GitHub. So make sure to check it out. And if you have any questions, let me know.